Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty Group, and welcome back to this week's Pick 5. Now at the end of every video, every week, I always say, if you have something to tell me, please leave a comment in the section below on YouTube. I love reading those comments. And folks, I'm not just saying that, because recently somebody suggested that in my next Pick 5 video, I featured the Don Mills neighborhood. And I thought, sure, why not? Now, Don Mills admittedly is an area in which I do not do a ton of business. Maybe one listing a year, maybe one buyer a year. And I always say that I go where the business goes. Now, of course, if somebody said, this is my name and this is how much money I have, I might make recommendations. But what I find about the Don Mills neighborhood is that it probably has the biggest difference in price, housing sizes, and housing styles as anywhere in the entire city of Toronto. Now, a lot of the original housing stock, bungalows, back splits, side splits on massive lots, who's the buyer for that? A lot of those houses, of course, are land value, so developers are tearing them down and building McMansions. Who's the buyer for that? So, while I don't think negatively upon the Don Mills area, I will say that after going through the properties today, you're going to see that there's one thing in common that all 5 of them have, and I'm going to make you watch until the end of the video to know exactly what that is. So let's take a look at our map here, guys. This is what Google Maps tells us the Don Mills neighborhood is. Okay, that's actually a really big neighborhood. Now, a good portion of this is the Denalda Golf Club, but essentially here's the shops at Don Mills, and you have residential area here, pocket here, and here. So sort of the 4 quadrants. So there are 5 properties that we're going to look at today, and you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count as well as I can. This one turned red overnight, which means that it's terminated, but you know what? That's fine. We'll keep that one in here. And why don't we do this? We're going to start, of course, with the lowest price one, as we always do. We're going to start with 17 Kestell Lane. Now, where is 17 Kestell Lane? We'll go to the map and you can see, okay, so as far as the Don Valley area goes, and I mentioned kind of the 4 quadrants, and this is the shops at Don Mills, we're up here and we're just north of the Denalda Golf Club. Beautiful, beautiful overhead. I'm a big golf fan, except golf hurts and it always ruins my body. So then I'm always kind of like, do I want to go back and play? Okay, so we're on a quiet little crescent. We're off of the 14th fairway over here. I said crescent, but you've got a little cul-de-sac here. So what's unique about this house, and I said at the onset, I'm going to start with the photos here, guys, is that there is such a variety of housing sizes and styles. First of all, look at this property here, this kind of triangular peak. I mean, look at the landscaping, is absolutely gorgeous. But as far as the property type, they call this a back split 4. Thank you, MLS and Toronto Real Estate Board. If you can tell me what back split 1, 2, and 3 are, I don't know, you're probably 80 years old, but I don't believe you actually exist. So listen, guys, 69 days on the market, $2,198,800. This is detached, as I mentioned, back split 4. It's on a 60-foot frontage by 102, 3 bedrooms plus 2 and 2 washrooms. Now, where back splits and side splits get really, really difficult, main, upper, lower, basement. What's lower than lower? Lower than lower is a basement. I always talk about houses in Mississauga, back splits, side splits, where you go to the basement's got a basement, but the basement's got a basement. It's just all of these different levels. Traditional house, you walk from the main floor up 14 steps to the 2nd floor. In a lot of these houses, you walk down 4 steps and there's kind of half the house is down there, and then you walk down 4 more and there's another level there. So we'll go through it. It is really, really difficult to get a sense of the layout in a lot of these houses. So this is 1958 built. Beautiful streetscape, and you can see same kind of idea here. This has the feel of kind of like the Brady Bunch, like 1960s, 1970s. Although I think that was a 70s show taking place in the 50s. I don't know. That's all in my past. It's all in my mind. Okay, outdoor space here, absolutely beautiful. Inside, and very nicely renovated. Here's where you can see, as I mentioned, you've got a level up. This is one level, and this is up, and then this is down, and then below the down, there's a down. So it takes a certain style of living, or a certain type of person for this style of living. And, maybe it's not, dare I say, 80-year-olds who can't do stairs. I was recently chatting with clients to whom I sold a 4-story townhouse in 2021, and they need to move. because they can't do the stairs anymore, right? It happens very quickly. And I've mentioned that I've moved my mother very nearby into Leaside, into a bungalow because of the stairs. So dare I say that the back splits and side splits have a lot of stairs. Now, they don't have 15 stairs. They might only have 3 or 4, but there's a lot of different levels. So this house is very nicely renovated, as I mentioned. It's nicely staged. It's got a very, very unique look to it. But for me, the interesting part about Don Mills, of course, I told you like there's going to be this like big reveal at the end, and I said they all have something in common. You're probably going to figure that out when I go to the listing history here. But they've all of these houses, they're all just so unique and so different. There's not a lot of standard run-of-the-mill 2-story homes. And I believe the last one I'm going to show you, which is like the $5 million house, will be exactly that. So what really impressed me about this, there you can see, that's the lower level beneath the lower level. That's classic, right? It's just 4 steps down. But what really impressed me about this one, among other things, is the outdoor space. And I'll go to this here. I showed you the front, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And this is kind of neat. Maybe I'm bogged down in the details, but you've got this like rounded little area of rocks and you found rounded furniture. It's just really, really neat. And then another shot here, nighttime shot, very pretty, like just so much outdoor space. And they did a great job with the photos. I love a good hedge. Like this thing took 40 years to grow. You know those like little, out front of your house where, words are not my friend. And you get like the little plants and as they grow, you can shape them. And I remember when I moved into my house, I was like, 4 years from now, this will be perfectly flat. Then they all died, right? And I had to replace them. And that was about 4 years ago. And now it is completely, totally flat. Except my son ran over one of them with the tire of his bike, and now you got to replace it. So point being, guys, this looks like a cedar hedge, and I just really, really appreciate how perfect that. Look at this. Oh man, I would love to get out my hedge trimmers and be all over that. Okay, so there you go. Oh, look at that. It's a wall, but it's not made of wood or stone. It's a wall of cedar. That is so pretty. $2 million house, and I'm focusing on the wall of cedars. Okay, so I continue to go outside, and I told you I love the outdoor space here. Look at that hedge. Oh my God. Oh, it puts my hedge to shame. More outdoor photos. You got the aerial shot. There you go. That's a classic back split, right? You've got the A-frame here, and then you've got what looks like a kind of half level up above. Pool, pool, pool. Looks like a lot of that happening in this area. There you go, another aerial shot in case we don't know. Here's your kind of McMansion that they seem to be building in around this area, and Denali Golf Club. Okay, so I mentioned listing history. So let's take a look here, guys. This one in particular, exception to the rule. Hey, they bought it for $427 24 years ago. Now they're up for 2.2. Good for them. That's what real estate markets do. But I will say it's not all profit, because look at the photo of what this looked like. They've done a massive renovation, and that could have been over 24 years. I mean, just the landscaping alone you can see, but of course the front of the house looks quite different. So can't really comment on the price point there, guys. It's been up for 69 days, probably due for a price reduction. But as I said, we're gonna see one thing in common for all these listings, of course not this one, is that not a lot sells in this area. I told you I was going to leave that to surprise, and then I kind of let the cat out of the bag there. Okay, so let's go to 18 Tetbury Crescent. Guys, this is a 90 by 125 foot lot. That's what Don Mills is all about to me. A 90 foot. That's crazy. Let's take a look at the map here, and I'll show you, again, north of the golf club. And I want to zoom right in and see. That is so cool. So next door is what I would call the McMansion, and over here is another McMansion, and this is what people do. They tear them down and they build absolutely astronomical houses. This looks like an original house, an original house, an original house, and let's do this. We're gonna drop this guy here. God, I'm so tech savvy. Okay, and beautiful, beautiful corner lot. 90 feet by 125, and then if we go next door, oh, it looks like they're still building that house. I wanted to see the McMansion. So it looks like October of 2020 was the most recent photo. Maybe if we go down here, we can see, no, they still haven't built it. So you can see that they're tearing it down. But let's go, yeah, sure, let's go down here and look. And this is kind of what we're seeing in this area. Oh, are they gonna blur the house out? No. So this isn't a full new build. This to me looks like maybe a top up of what was originally here, but you're seeing these monster houses, and we will see one eventually where you've got these original bungalows and they're on massive lots, and then you build up to something like this. So 90 by 125 foot lot, as I mentioned, 2349, 107 days on the market, and it was terminated. 3 bed, 2 bath, I'm sorry, 3-bed plus 2, 3-bath, and this is just a bungalow. So it's not that back split, side split situation that is, very difficult to work with a lot of the times. Okay, so inside, nicely done, sure. Nicely staged. Actually, this is a Bosley listing. Go figure. There you go. Do have a lower level, of course. It's a lot of space, guys, believe it or not. But for a 90-foot lot, and I know it's just a bungalow, but for a 90-foot lot, yeah, there's a lot of interior space. And so some of the finishes, you might be a little bit dated. So what? I mean, that's not much to replace a countertop, a sink. I very much like the presentation of this one. And, so if you're looking for a traditional home that's, 2-story, red brick, and it's got 4 beds and 5 baths, maybe you're not in this area. This looks like a kid's bedroom, not staged. But, again, I go back to the fact that somebody asked me on YouTube to do Don Mills. It's not an area that I visit very frequently. And it's not for any particular reason. As I said, it's not like I'm steering people away from here. I just don't have a lot of buyers that contact me and look in and around this area. The housing styles are so different. So what I do find is that when somebody asks me, oh, here's where you're seeing not so staged. Okay, that looks like a closet downstairs. When people do ask me to show them houses in this area, it's because they grew up there, or it's because they already live there. If you're looking in Leslieville, you're probably not looking in Don Mills, and I would, dare say vice versa. So this is another one with a pool. This is a hot tub-esque kind of pool, but beautiful lot. I think I mentioned that, 90 by 125. And, this is sort of too nice to be land value, but I think that if this was, I don't know, 1.6 million, yeah, someone would tear it down and build a $5 million house. So you can see there, I was actually wondering about this. The main floor and then the grade slopes down, so you have the walkout at grade, which is really cool. I like that. It's less of a basement. So I actually noticed that. Let's go back to, nice photography here, cherry blossom. Yeah, I noticed it here. I want to go back to the first photo. Not that one. Yeah, here. So when you can see the grade slopes down, I was wondering with this portion, does that mean that our basement has a walkout? And yes, it does, because of course we saw that. So the listing history here, guys, is going to show you, yes, they were listed for $2,999 last June. Then they were listed in July of last year for $2,799, and they listed this year in May and continue to remain in the market into August for $2,349. So not knocking the area, but I said we're going to find one thing in common today with all of the properties, and it seems even the first one, which hasn't been listed multiple times, was still on the market for 10 weeks. A lot of these properties either don't sell or take a while to do so. So we'll go to the next one here, and oh yes, 30 Broadleaf. So this is so cool, right? Look at the exterior of this, and it's got this kind of like country cottage style to it with all the different siding. I said at the onset, there is such a difference in housing styles in this area. And we look at a house like this, we see exactly what I'm talking about. So they are 63 days in the market. They're only a 50-footer. The last one was 90, but it's a 5-bed plus 1 5-bath listed for $2,988. And we'll take a look at the map and you can see where 30 Broadleaf is. Okay, not a bad area at all. In fact, this is pretty darn good, guys. Here's shops at Don Mills over here. Well, it's actually down here. And we're north of Lawrence. We're not, too close to the DVP, too close to Lawrence. Nice little pocket. Location definitely gets a check mark here. So listing photos, you got your Wolf Range, you got your built-in wine fridge, lots of natural light, beautiful windows. So far I'm digging it. And very, very traditional comparatively to the back splits, bungalows, 90-foot lots, the kind of awkward 3-bed plus 4 beds throughout the different levels. Boy, that's a lot of kitchen photos. 40 photos to get through. Oh my goodness, look how organized. I could definitely be friends with these people. That's how you know you're 45 years old, when you think you can be friends with people because of how well they label their spices. All right then. So continue along. Yep, center hall plan for a 50-foot lot. Beautiful. I love an office on the main floor. Oh no, I think that was upstairs. I take that back. My office is on the main floor of my house. And this massive Japanese red maple that we did not trim for years, and I literally could not see past it. It was huge. And eventually we hired an arborist. And if you're gonna say, like, David, are you not able to go snip like this to the tree? No, I'll tell you why I hired an arborist. Because an arborist, I'm gonna sound like I'm really selling it, an arborist knows how to cut the tree and where to cut the tree so that it grows the way you want it to. I could have randomly started chopping limbs off of the Japanese red maple, but I wanted somebody who knows how this thing's gonna grow. And you know what? They did an amazing job. It was like $400. So all that is to say, I love me some main floor office. You get to see when your kids are coming home. And this house, I believe, had that, but it might have been on the second floor. So kind of skimped on the staging down below. Here's where you can tell maybe this was a top-up or an addition and not a completely new build, because I think if it was a new build, this would certainly be higher up. And nice nighttime shot too. Then you got the back here. And then the last photo is kind of interesting, right? Walking distance to Shops Don Mills. So I said it was walking distance to Shops Don Mills, but these guys went ahead and circled it, which looks like it was done in paint. There you go. So I like this one. It's a very cute house. We'll look at the listing history, and you can see as well. So these guys listed in 2024 for 3.3. They increased their price to 3.6. They're now on the market for 2,988. Guys, the story sort of continues here. It's a tough sell in Don Mills. And I picked 5 properties, more or less at random. I didn't pick them specifically because of that. So let's move on here. We're going to see what a $4 million house looks like. This is 116 Laurentide Drive. 50 days in the market, detached, side split 4. What's the difference between a back split 4 and a side split 4? I don't know, 5 letters in Scrabble. 85 by 237. 237. Yes, 237 feet. 5 bedroom plus 1 7 bath. But before you get ridiculously attached to this one, guys, let's take a look at the location. Oh, hello, Gov. On the plus side, we are right next to a massive park. On the downside, you're right behind the DVP. So, you've driven by this a million times, and you've never really thought, hey, there's that house that David's going to do in his pick 5. Why would you? So the next time that you are on the DVP, have a little look, and you might say, oh, interesting. Okay, so there's the Don Mills neighborhood. And if you pick this house up and put it, 2 blocks over, I think there'd be a massive difference in price, because backing onto the DVP certainly affects the price. So you've got this massive park here, as I showed you, and I want to go first to our map and show you, okay, here's where we are. Beautiful park, beautiful, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, right next door, living next to a park. I was telling my mom, she was saying that her brother, their house, and I'm thinking back to like 80s and 90s here. It was in Richmond Hill or Thornhill. Sorry, I got them confused. Kind of a rinky-dink little house, as she said, but it backed onto a park. You literally had this little gate in this teeny little yard with I came from a lot of cousins, right? And you can't all fit in the backyard. Guess what? Open the gate and you've got, 12 acres right behind you. So I love being adjacent to a park. Here is the house before the big build. And then here's your McMansion. Look at this thing next door. Now this is October of 2020. This house is done. But if our house here is 4 schmil, what do you think this house is going for? So let's go back. Here's our 4 schmil. And we'll take a look. Oh, hello, Japanese red maple. So guys, my red maple was it was just drooping all the way down here. Oh, we literally couldn't walk past it. It was over top of the entire walkway. You had to cut around and go on the grass or walk underneath. So yeah, it was worth the $400. So again, you can see here that obviously they've renovated. 237 feet goes all the way back. You know what? I don't even love the inside of the house so much. It's the outside that I want to show you, but sure, we'll go through. Double doors. You've got an 85-foot lot when you have double doors. That is cool right there. That just feels like a Don Mills house. Of course, you can see with design elements like this, and you've got the black frames, and you've got whatever this is called with the wooden vertical beams. And then the real estate agent showed he knows nothing about design. Mad collection of wine on the wall. I'd love to be sitting here and you're like, hey, can you get the bottle second left from the top on the, there's 100 bottles and they're 20 feet up. In a previous pick 5, I said that I hate, and I think we put a photo in it, the new build houses that have like a glass enclosure for wine bottles in the dining room. Have you ever gone over to like John and Jenny's house and you're like, what the most important, most incredible, most impressive thing about their new house is? It was the 14 bottles of wine that they had behind glass in their dining room. I absolutely loathe those silly little things. Like, you're not showing off your ability to buy wine. And check this out. How impractical is this? But maybe it's art to them. I have G.I. Joe art. Let's put that up. See that right there? That's every G.I. Joe man made from 1982 through 1987. I never said I wasn't crazy, but that's art. So when you're looking at this wine over here, ask me, is it art? And I might say, yeah, if my G.I. Joes are, then that is too. But no, I'm not a huge fan of showing off your bottles of wine. You can see my house there had a wine cellar and I don't really collect wine or want wine, so I put G.I. Joes in it. Okay, so going along here, again with the wine, holy moly. Ooh, hello pantry. I can be friends with these people too. Look how organized this is. So the YouTube real estate agent collects G.I. Joe and likes to organize things. Gotcha. Can we go back? Look how well organized this is. Ooh, another pet peeve of mine. Staging with bags from luxury brands. You walk into a house, the entire thing is empty, but the closet has a bag from Louis Vuitton, a bag from Hermes. Oh, no, you think it's Hermes? Hermes was the Greek god to the messenger, okay? When they named this company Hermes, they just completely mispronounce Hermes' name. And you see like, I don't know, the Tiffany blue, right? I absolutely loathe that. It is so tacky to stage a house with bags from luxury brands. So down in the basement, what a nerdy is Star Wars. G.I. Joe, Star Wars. No. It's totally different. It's totally different. So they got a movie theater in the basement, and I want to show you the back of the house because, as I told you, that's the most impressive part to me. Might also be why I talked through the entire thing. So you look here and you're like, how is that a 237-foot lot when you've got a load-bearing brick wall in the back? Yes, let's take a look. What is a reverse ravine? Well, all that land is yours. And we'll go up and you can see, thank you, this is where that load-bearing wall is, and it looks like you have the smallest backyard on planet Earth. This entire thing is yours. It is a massive property. Now, I don't think they did it justice, because let's move along, right? Okay, so this one they did. So here's where your wall is, and I was saying you got a teeny tiny backyard. This massive thing, you've got a park in your backyard, but you've got a park right here. There's your McMansion. Let's go back 2 photos. That's your McMansion. I don't know what that would cost you, $8-9 million. But as I said, the problem with this house, guys, is that that is the Don Valley Parkway right behind you. So maybe you don't hear it. No, you're definitely going to hear it, right? So behind here, but you've got the park and you've got, well, you've got me to show you. Let's look at the listing history. So listing history here, well, 2.5 million in 2021, 2.5 million in 2021. There it is in all of its glory. So this one's on its first listing, only on the market 50 days, but I'm saying only on the market 50 days. Guys, there is a lot in this area and they are not easy to sell. Okay, so let's move along here to the last one, 27 Hurlingham. Just sounds like a name that was made up to sound British. Hurlingham. I got my inner Adam Sandler there, I believe. So this one's been on the market for 110 days. That's all. 5.5 schmil, 5 bedroom plus 2, 9 bathrooms. When I was growing up, I dreamt of using a different bathroom every day of the week. Then I moved into a house with 9 bathrooms and I didn't even know what to do. I don't know if that's accurate. Can there really be 9 bathrooms in this house? Regardless, very pretty house. I like the red brick and stucco. It's a nice combination of a throwback to traditional red brick with a bit of a modern feel. 5.5 million. Where is Hurlingham? Hurlingham, oh boy, oh ho. Okay, all right. Hurlingham is, ready for this, backing on to, well, commercial, industrial. So yeah, when your voice goes up like that, you're about to say something untrue. Here's Leslie, here's York Mills. It's at a very, very busy corner. It is a crescent, it is nice. I bet it is super quiet right here, but you do back onto Scarsdale. So it's not as bad as the one that I showed you over here that backs onto the DVP, but yeah, look, for your money, you'd rather be right in here, or you'd rather be right in here backing onto commercial. So the house itself, beautiful. Let's take a look, 49 photos. Hopefully I can have enough conversation with myself to talk through 49 photos. This house is over 5,000 square feet. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I don't want to talk through it, guys, because I don't know if you're tired of my voice yet, but I certainly am. No, it's just an absolutely beautiful house. Now I like, and this speaks to me, I like light floors, I like light cabinets. I hate, I'm sorry, but if you have black cabinets, black granite, you know what I don't like is staging that says dumb stuff like bon appetit, let's eat. I don't know. Keep calm, carry on. Crappy staging stuff. My stager does not use any of that. This is funny, they reuse their own photos. I should normally blur this out. Right at Home Realty Brokerage, Right at Home Realty Brokerage. So they used their photos from last time that were watermarked by Treb, and then they were re-watermarked by Treb. So there you go. Okay, that's the saddest 2-person table I've ever seen in my life, but it's okay because next to the saddest plant. So beautiful. I don't know I was gonna say, I don't know why it's not selling. Ooh, there's my main floor office. Hello, without the Japanese red maple. Love the design, love the finishes. There's nothing finish-wise. The sign that says laundry in the laundry room, I was gonna make a joke about a bathroom, but like, what kind of sign would you have on the wall in there? It says, what's the room used for? Okay, so there you go. There you go, bathroom. Thank God they don't have one of those signs there. You got a skylight in your bathroom, that's amazing. And you know what's kind of funny is, so where you have the, someone called it the, poop closet, if you will, where you have a bathroom where you've got a door and the toilet's behind the door, it's for privacy. This one has a glass door. Why would you need a door to separate the toilet from the rest of the bathroom if it's gonna be glass? You can see it. It's not like your partner in the morning, you're like, oh, don't worry, you're behind a glass door. And here I thought you were gonna not have some privacy. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. But you do have a window. You do have a window. Okay, so continuing along, not a huge fan of the staging, but I love the finish, guys. I absolutely love the finish. And let's get down to the basement. Never a big fan of the bars in the basement. Oh, hello, we have our pegboard wine cellar. Could fit a lot of G.I. Joes in there, you know what I'm saying? And then we have a lot of unfinished rooms in a basement that aren't too sexy. There's a sauna in this one, if I am not mistaken. Oh, there it is. Oh, the sauna. Are you guys into cold plunges? I've recently taken that up. I don't know if it actually does anything, but Google AI says that it might. Get in a sauna, and when you're uncomfortable, get less comfortable in ice water. No, I'm actually hoping that it does something for my body. So there you go. So here they took a photo of a screenshot. Yeah, they took a photo of a screenshot, or a screenshot of a screenshot. I think I could teach this listing agent how to successfully crop and go into paint. Okay, or clipping tool. Everyone's like, David, you gotta use the clipping tool. I'm like, bro, I've been on paint since 91. So Hurlingham, let's take a look at the listing history. And you can see here, oh, they interestingly made an error here. So 25 has been merged with 27, fine. They paid 2.18, and I wanna show you the bungalow. Listed for 1,648. This is what you used to get back in the day for a builder's lot. Sold for 2,148. And that was the original bungie. They leased it for $25,000 a month. Then they came out at $5,499, and then they came out at $5,499, still up for $20,000 a month. So there you go, guys. 5 houses in the Don Mills neighborhood. None of them are selling. I said at the onset, I'm not knocking the area. No disrespect to the YouTuber or YouTube commenter that asked me if you could do the Don Mills neighborhood, if you happen to live there, and you're like, and then the real estate YouTube man just completely just smacked the area that I call home. No, what I'm doing is showing 5 properties that I've sort of picked at random. I wanted different prices and different sizes and different styles, but I am finding that no, it is not easy to sell a house in the Don Mills area. All of these houses have been on the market a while. They have mostly been relisted over and over, and I don't know what that says about the location. Would it be the lack of demand? I don't know if there's a lack of demand. Would it be oversupply? Not necessarily. What I think is that maybe there's below average demand, there's slightly above average supply, and there is such a difference in housing styles in this area that, well, the proof is in the pudding. A lot of days on market, a lot of relists, but a lot of really cool houses. And that last one in Hurlingham was absolutely just so incredibly pretty. So that's it, guys. 5 houses in Don Mills. How do you like it? If you're watching this and you have an idea for a pick 5, yes, go ahead and drop me a comment in the YouTube's comments section below. If you want to get Pick 5 emailed to you every week, please go to torontoblog.com/pick5, sign up. We will send you an email when we launch, which is usually on Thursdays. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. As always, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.